All right, buddy, you ready? All right, the time has come to lay out these brackets for our piers, and we're just gonna use simple math. Well, maybe it's not simple, but if you get a calculator that does all the calculations for you and gives you precise dimensions so you can very easily mark out a perfect square, then it is fairly simple. So luckily, we've already got marks on our walls, and all we have to do is pull diagonal dimensions and lay out these post locations, and we can get these brackets drilled in.
This Milwaukee hammer drill is just the best.
Yeah, dude, it's smooth, fast.
You don't even have to like push down the weight.
No, you don't have to push down.
Kind of like gravity takes care of it all.
So what I'm doing is I've got the 160G Stabila out, which we've been using this for a while. It's pretty simple in that it doesn't do slope, it doesn't do anything fancy. This is like an $800 laser, comes with a receiver, and honestly the receiver is probably the least favorite because I really love my 350 receiver that gives me the readout on the dimension away. So you've got this strip here that reads the laser when I get close to it, and it tells you whether you need to go up or down. Well, the 350 receiver says, you know, +1/8, +1 1/4, and I know exactly where I'm at. So when I'm doing a job like this, where I'm checking elevation and everything is going to be within probably a 1/4 inch, I can just set my receiver at 0, or sorry, yeah, my receiver at 0, and it tells me ±1/4, 1/8, 1/16, and I don't have to move it up and down and read it. So it's great, but we're using this to get a good feel for it, so I can let you guys know if it's worth, you know, only spending $800, or if you should go and spend $1,700 on something like the 350.
Pass me my knife?
Yeah. It's right here, you see it?
Can you pass me my knife?
Oh, sure. Just say so. That hole with such accuracy and precision is really quite mind-boggling.
Oh, you know, Kyle, anyone can do it if they just put their mind to it.
You good? Good?
Yeah.
Man, I didn't even record that though, dude. That's literally like the prettiest.
I bet you feel stupid now, don't you?
I didn't ever hit the record button when we did that.
That's a rookie mistake.
I mean, look how perfect it was.
That's too bad you didn't record it.
I mean, it was perfect. Well, one thing's for sure, getting pretty lucky with these miters. They're all closing up quite nicely, which means two things. One, the cuts are good, thanks to that skill saw. That big saw squatch, the thing's huge, gets through that 6x6 in one pass, but also it means that our layout for our post locations is pretty much spot on, because even if with the most perfect 45-degree angle, if you're not, you know, building square, they don't matter.
Thursday.
It's only Wednesday.
I'm preparing myself for tomorrow. You push it in if you want. Yeah.
You got? Want to check it this time?
Yep.
Where these come from?
What's that?
Cedar Porch.
Boise and Rochelle?
It's like Western Cedar.
It is Western Cedar, yeah. You know, a lot of times people ask me, like, why would you let Greg use the big saw? Like, I just feel like you probably don't want to. Do you want to?
I mean, do you want me to?
I mean, do you want to?
No, the question is, do you want
I
me
think on these cuts you probably could practice. It's not that I don't want you to do it. It's that I want to do it. And like when your name's actually on the saw, you really don't have a choice. It's my saw, so it's just the way it goes. Okay, like full disclosure, I have like really bad handwriting in my life, but I was writing upside down.
I don't have good handwriting either.
Me neither.
But
Okay.
got it.
Yeah, you might want to just head on a ladder there.
I figure you need me.
Is that a heavy one?
That's a heavy one.
Here, no, other way.
By the way,
Okay, yeah. Yeah, bring this tip in. Yes.
that's just about money.
Oh, good.
A
Okay.
little bit in, but it's pretty close.
Oh, there.
That ain't going nowhere. They unlocked it.
I didn't know that.
I think we.
I thought you were joking.
No, I was serious.
Well, I think it was a pretty good day. Once again, we've had 2 great days here in a row. Yesterday, we got all that Versetta stone up, and today we got all of our 6x6 cedar columns and headers up, except for one. We did have a minor change where over here on this end where that garage door is, we went from a 10-foot opening to a 12-foot opening. I didn't have the 12-foot ordered, I had 10-foot ordered. No big deal, I've got my supplier working on that, so hopefully we can get that in place soon. I don't know, COVID has definitely put a damper on getting lumber at a great time frame, but I'm gonna cross my fingers. So we got all that porch framing done yesterday in preparation of our lumber package to be dropped today, but it's not here yet. So what we're gonna do is transition into these doorways. Because we can't run our siding yet on the porch sides, we don't have the porches built, we can get all of this detail done, and I really wanna do that because in order to put our trims around the garage doors, I need to get my water screen installed, then the vertical siding, because this trim is gonna be over top of that vertical siding. But first what we have to do is we're figuring out our transition over top of this wainscot cap. And what we're gonna use is some aluminum. It's gonna look a lot nicer because it'll clean up this detail right here and put any water out over the sill cap. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get these bent up and installed.
5.5. 5.5. We got 5.5 mark.
Yep. Good?
Yeah.
Fingers away, man.
My fingers will break this. Yeah, because I think you can have it alright.
Mm-hmm.
Once you put the battens on, you can have it alright.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you on there?
So I'm doing a 1/2 inch here. What I'm doing is I'm cutting up to this 1/2 inch. Just so I don't have a...
Bend that around so it stiffens it up a little bit.
Stiffens it up and then doesn't give me a cut edge.
Not a bad idea.
I just thought of it. Now we're doing something for our trim to go against. Guess we'll see how it looks, huh?
Yes, sir.
This actually worked out pretty good.
I can't see the sun.
Push right here for me. Okay. Nice. There you go. All right, so the goal is to, as you can see behind me, we've got the water screen up now because this is going to be vertical siding. You got to have some sort of a water screen air gap behind that, and this serves that purpose for us. It is actually made by LP now, so one of the beautiful things about kind of using this line of products is that you can start with your structural sheathing and use LP products, which are all made to work together all the way through to your finished siding. So that is a nice benefit, and yeah, I like it. So, you know, if it's something you're interested in, you might want to check it out with your local supplier. However, what we're going to do is install this vertical siding around the garage doors, go 2 pieces each way, and by doing this, we're going to start in the center of the garage doors exactly, and that will give us the appropriate, I guess, consistent reveals from there on out, because everything is dimensionally set off of I guess that layout. So we've got that 4 foot between the garage doors, we got 4 foot to the sides of the garage doors to the porch. So if we start in the middle and work our way out, everything will be consistent as far as the battens go. So now that we have that done, we can go ahead and start installing our vertical siding. Then when that is complete, we will be able to install all the trims around the garage doors, which is kind of our big push right now. I also need a little scrap piece of smart side, because that is 3/8 center. Remember what center?
I don't have a smart side.
No, you don't need it. I'll be gapped down here. Remember? So what I'm doing is I'm lining up my center. I'm going to use this piece of smart side because it's 3/8. Okay, now hold that. I'm right where I want to be. Ain't going nowhere.
I want to be flush with the
Yeah.
the LP, right?
Yeah. See, that's the difference between working with aluminum and working with...
Yeah, how's that?
Yeah. Here. Put this down. Yeah. Now what we're using this little piece of siding for is, this is 3/8, and the piece of jam trim that goes here and here is 3/4. So what we wanted to do was this brake line here, we want it to be halfway down that trim, and this is so that water runs over it, not, you know, back. It's like a drip edge. But so this is just really being used as a spacer to make sure that we're running nice and straight. Okay, tape it off. Got that tape?
Yeah, that's right.
Where's that?
What about you? Okay, now I'm gonna do every 2 foot, 3 nails. So this is here. All right, are you good? I like it. Right there.
Well, there's one thing that is for sure, and that is that this type of building, me and Greg decided, is a lot more tedious, a lot more work to get a little bit of area done. I mean, just with all the stone detail, the flashing details around the doors, it's just not something we do every day, but I'm really excited because I don't think it looks as good as it's gonna look, because we're still missing the battens, we're missing our border trim up at the top, or freeze trim, whatever you want to call it, and we're missing the garage door casing. So I think those are gonna really clean everything up and make it look even better. Those black lines will definitely make all that siding pop, but I'm pretty excited to keep going on it. So hopefully you guys are too, and you stick around. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. But we're out of here for the day. We'll be back tomorrow, and I think the goal is to finish up the details behind me, but then start building the porch, because we can't go any further until the porch is built with the siding.